Welcome back to DQP Does, the Drafty Quarters Podcast Network's movie review show, where I guess we shit on Star Wars. With me this evening is my co-host, Nathan.
Me.
Our producer, Russell.
What up?
Him.
I am your host, Shane.
That guy.
And tonight, we watched Return of the Jedi.
Whew.
Episode 6.
Yeah, buddy.
I need to print a retraction.
Oh. Well.
It's been a while since I've watched this. I do maintain that the first half hour is my favorite portion of Star Wars in the Star Wars universe.
Just the first
Still,
half
this
hour.
is that first half hour. It's so good, so strong. The last 45 minutes of this movie, fuck, dude. I didn't think it was ever going to end.
Yeah. It's,
Whew. So Return of the Jedi is not my favorite Star Wars movie.
yeah. I mean, let's go ahead and we'll get to that in a second.
All right.
Let's go over the cast real quick. We have, all the returning people: Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca. We actually see Anakin Skywalker for the first time in this, and he was played by Sebastian Shaw, by the Black King himself.
All right.
And?
What? He's the leader of the Hellfire Club.
And?
What?
Well, there's Anakin was in it twice.
Yeah, fuck that other part, though. Ian McDiarmid plays the Emperor. He reprises his role later in the first 3 movies that are actually the second 3 movies.
Who's he play later?
The Emperor.
That's weird that
Chancellor Palpatine.
He looked better in 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I know, right? That's because they come before, but they don't. I don't know.
Mocap?
No.
De-aging?
The opposite.
CGI?
Aging makeup in, like, making him just generally look nasty.
How old was he in the third one? 19?
Let's see. He was born in 1944, so he would have been 40-ish, 39. Wow. That seems crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
But, I mean...
I don't want to say that he looks older in case he listens.
He either looked really old when he was 39 or he looked really young when he was 60.
Huh.
Yeah, but you look old as shit.
He just looked old as shit from 39 to 60.
I think playing Palpatine aged him.
Probably. Frank Oz, Yoda's voice. James Earl Jones is Darth Vader's voice. Prowse still was Vader. So there were like 4 different dudes playing Vader in this movie.
Poor Prowse.
What the fuck?
All right.
And nobody remembers Prowse because he wasn't the face, he wasn't the voice, and he wasn't the hologram ghost, whatever.
He was just
Bullshit
the
later.
stride
He was
guy.
he was just the body. Alec Guinness came back as Ben. I mean, he did the voice in Empire. They added in after the ghost stuff,
Yeah.
but whatever. Let's see.
So I
that's
thought
pretty much all that matters.
at some point they replaced
Tim
Alec
Rose is
Guinness.
Admiral Akbar.
It's a trap.
That's a trap.
I thought at some point they replaced Alec Guinness with Ewan McGregor.
I don't think so, unless it was like yet another version of.
Yeah. Well, we watched this version today on Disney Plus.
Oh shit! Disney Plus came out today.
Yeah, it did.
So that was the cast for this movie. For the most part, I mean, obviously there were a lot of bit actors for like all the Empire people and the extra
Yeah.
rebels and all that shit.
There's a lot of extras in this one.
Yeah, I mean, like there were just a lot more people in general that had like a line or two in
Mhm.
every fucking part.
Yeah.
Rebels and Empire guys and fucking Ewoks and
Can we start with Yoda?
start wherever you want.
So, in Empire, the entire time Yoda does his weird phrasing.
Yeah.
But in this, I don't like it was different.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't.
His voice also wasn't quite exactly the same to me.
Yeah, his voice was a little different, and he had regular sentences,
Yeah, a few of them.
and that was really weird.
He was getting old. I guess. I don't know. Maybe Frank Oz was getting old and he couldn't remember how he did it.
He was dying.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, not Frank Oz.
Yeah. I was just
So-
trying
Let me
to
clarify. Yeah, man. He was dying. I feel like that's what they were trying to get across.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess it just seemed weird.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was like, wait, what the fuck? I don't remember. Why is he talking like a normal person?
Yeah. I also thought it was weird. I mean, I know I've watched these like back to back to back before.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still like leaving a week in between, and I was still like, this isn't how he sounded last Tuesday. But I don't know. I guess it could be explained like Nathan said, that he was dying, so they gave him a little bit of a different characterization and a different voice. I don't know. But it was weird.
So he was just doing a bit in Empire, and he's just like dying and tired, too tired to do the bit.
Yeah. I'm too tired to be poetic. Fuck you. You've got a sister, by the way.
Mark Hamill looked old.
See, I thought he looked better than he did in Empire.
Yeah, I mean, he still looked like shit.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, like, okay, in the first one, he looks like young, and you can tell, regardless of what happened outside of the franchise.
Yeah.
It just looks like this adventure took a lot out of him, many years.
I think that has a lot to do with maybe him starting to use some of the dark side of the Force. As he force chokes two motherfuckers at the beginning of the movie.
In the movie and in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was probably the most interesting thing that I noticed this time around. Other than like some of the god fucking awful CG, but we'll get to that.
It looks like he was just like listening to a lot of Johnny Cash. He's like, yeah, black. That's a good color. I'm gonna wear that.
Yes. He became the new Man in Black. Although, like, I do like that the outfit he's wearing at the end. That's pretty dope with like the fold over lapel and shit.
Yeah.
It's like black and gray on the inside. Look cool.
I like that he doesn't really have any whiny parts in this one.
I mean, when he's getting electrocuted, he's kind of
Well, okay, you go stick a fork in a light socket and see if you don't whine.
Well, I don't know if I'd sound like that. I would probably just be like.
Pause for scientific study.
And
that was real audio that we just used, by the way.
Yeah. And we're back. Shane's dead. We'll miss him.
I am here from beyond the grave.
Oh shit! He's
I don't know why I'm doing a voice. I turned into Brain.
Are you an announcer in the afterlife?
I suppose so.
God was like, Shane, I need you to come here and announce these sports shows.
Yeah, but don't use your real voice. You annoyed the fuck out of me for way too long. That's why I was like, you know what? Stick a fucking fork in the socket.
Oh, Chuck.
We'll get to that in a minute too. Okay, so
Let's talk about Ewoks.
okay,
Ewoks are crack Care Bears. They are all funny looking, and they scare the shit out of me. They're not adorable. Their teeth, their face. I just want to punch them all.
I don't think they're scary, but I do share the affection that I want to punch them because they're super annoying.
Yeah, well, no, not the fact that I just don't like the way that they look. Like, I don't like them. I don't like Ewoks.
Do you think? So, like,
They're
I was
creepy.
wondering if the Ewoks or maybe even the Wookiees, if their hair is very similar to like sloths, where they have like this extra layer of bacteria and it's just absolutely fucking gross to touch because they look disgusting and I never see anyone shower.
First off, maybe Wookiees are born with it, or maybe it's Maybelline, but fucking Chewie's hair looks fantastic.
Chewie's hair
And-
looks fucking disgusting.
Nope.
No, in
Nope.
this one it looked like it had been combed.
Yeah. Chewie uses a comb. Like, the Ewoks just use poop. Like, we've seen their poop dingleberry nets that they use to capture Luke and Han in.
Oh man.
Like, they just use their butt hairs to make these nets. They're gross-looking creatures.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Ewoks either.
Like, I just don't understand, like, how they were so, like, popular. And everyone's like, Ewoks are great.
Kids' toys.
Fuck that. There's
Did you-
Care Bears in the world. Like, buy them.
Did you watch that that interview with Freddie Prinze Jr. that I sent in the group?
Nope.
Where he's like basically like, "Fuck all you nerds. Star Wars is for kids."
Yeah. And he's so okay. First off, why does he sound like a fucking 90s gangster?
I don't know.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I thought he was like this because in all of his movies, he's like this decently well-spoken, well-mannered dude. And then I watched that video and it was so fucking jarring. It like ruined half of my childhood because he's in so many movies I used to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, think about how we talk when we're just like by ourselves and like talking shit about something. I mean, we drop the F-bomb on our shows every other fucking word.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's okay. But like, he literally has like a shirt that's 3 sizes too large for him, and then like he's like throwing slang every couple of words.
I don't know. I don't care either. It
It made it hard to
sort
listen
of-
to. Is
I
what I'm
sort of
saying.
understand the point, but it's also, I'm a consumer, so and I can have opinions. So
Right.
fuck you too.
Dude, don't worry about
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze. He's never going to do another movie again.
Well, he's not gonna be.
Well, I mean,
he's
he
not gonna
can't-
be Freddy again. So
Well, he
No,
can't
he's
be
not.
a teenage heartthrob.
when he's not a teenager,
Yeah. He's got to be like the dad of like Zac Efron.
which is funny that I mentioned the Freddy thing and you mentioned Zac Efron, because apparently that's who's gonna play Freddy in the
Yep.
next Scooby Doo thing.
Did
So-
not know that.
Well,
Kind of interested to see that.
I guess Freddy can like voice Scooby.
I still just want Matthew Lillard to come back and play Shaggy though.
yeah.
Someone else can play Shaggy.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh, I
this
thought you
isn't
had
a
someone in
podcast
mind.
about that. This is a podcast about Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I started talking shit about Freddie Prinze Jr., but anyway.
I was riding that train
Dude,
with
life has done enough for Freddie Prinze Jr. He's married to like Sarah Michelle Gellar, right?
you.
I don't know. I don't care.
Yep. Yeah. he
Fuck
is.
that guy to hell.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's kind of the point though, is like a lot of the stuff, especially like the Ewoks and stuff is for kids, but it's just they're fucking annoying as hell, and they're like such a huge plot point in the movie. It just bothers me.
Yeah. So I didn't remember them being as big a deal to the movie as they are. I thought they like helped out a little bit with the taking over the shield generator
Yeah.
and then like had a celebration. But they're like fucking there.
Yeah, all the time.
I also thought it was weird that C3PO talks about the them mistaking him for a god.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, as far as I know, that's the first mention of any kind of deity.
Yeah, the only other mention of religion is in episode 4 when the guy that gets choked calls the Jedi Order and like worshiping the Force and stuff a religion.
Yeah. So like that's kind of weird because I just assumed that all of the universe is aware of the Force and
Yeah, but some people
worships it
like
as
just
like
like
a-
don't believe in it. I think it's a myth because it hasn't been around
right.
and they haven't seen it. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's interesting, but one of the things going on the like for kids thing that bothers me, and I figured it out that it happens throughout all these, where some of the darker parts they added parts to like lighten it up for kids.
Yeah.
So, in this one in particular, right before the first time you see the Rancor.
Mm-hmm.
Normally there was just like the music playing and the two like slave girls are dancing and one of them like takes offense to Jabba like tugging on her chain
Yeah.
and he drops her in the Rancor pit. And in the newer garbage versions of these movies, there's like a whole music number added with like these fucking goofy terrible looking that don't at all fit the aesthetic of the movies.
Yeah.
CG characters added doing this musical number and like it's for kids and it's just like to make this like dark grimy place where a fucking scummy slug gangster that has two slave women dancing in front of him, one of which he's about to feed to a monster, more palatable to children.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know. that whole scene was trash.
It's just like they made the parts that made this particular movie watchable into garbage.
I don't feel like we're doing this movie any justice. If we would have been able to watch like the original, it probably would have been better.
It definitely would have been better because like it took me out of the parts that I liked about this movie. And now I just like today watching it, I just didn't even fucking enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed the section that I usually enjoy, and then I
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't either because like I remember liking this movie a lot. And obviously I was younger when I first watched it and like the Ewoks didn't bother me as much, but I still thought they were like, how do these things that can't fucking walk properly and like put their arms even like together? Because like they're like poorly made, like, you know, suits for, they were little people, right? In the suits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Or kids.
Yeah. So like they couldn't even do like hardly anything. How do they help fight the Empire?
Yeah,
How do they make those traps when they don't have fucking opposable thumbs and shit?
right.
You
And
know?
then they're also throwing like those stormtrooper outfits are like they're
Armor?
armor, yeah. So and they're like throwing these like 5-pound rocks at these dudes. Like
Yeah.
I would think that armor, the dude isn't gonna stumble backwards because he got
It's not gonna kill them or even knock them unconscious. It's gonna be super annoying. But that's what you have fucking blaster rifles for, is to blow these little motherfucking teddy bears away.
yeah. And I think that so like the Ewoks participating in that battle near the end, the battle for the shield generator,
Yeah.
as much as they do is part of what I think fucks up the pacing is because like you're waiting, like you can even see the scenes where the stormtroopers are just waiting for something to happen so that
Yep.
way they can move on. And like it's all like not only like it could have been shot better.
Yeah.
It could have been shot a little faster to where you didn't necessarily see the actors just standing there waiting for their spot to happen.
Right.
And then the Ewoks, there's too many scenes of the Ewoks just like doing stuff or like traveling, like, oh, I got to get from this spot to this spot over here, like, and I was just like, oh my god, this is fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like after the whole scene in the beginning is settled, after everything happens where they get away from Jabba and Jabba's dead, like the rest of the movie is fucking trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's boring and like almost nothing happens. And you finally eventually get to this scene where Luke, Vader, and the Emperor are standing there, but like it's so in and out of it that you can't even enjoy that scene because it keeps cutting back to the fucking moon of Endor.
Right.
And it just fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like they were trying to do the same thing they did throughout Empire, but
Yeah.
like in the course of a 5-minute part. And
Yeah.
cut the same number of times back and forth. So it's
Yeah.
like 5 seconds of the Emperor talking to Luke, and Luke being like, "No, I'm not gonna join the dark side," and then like 5 minutes of Ewoks fighting, and then like a minute of Star battle outside of the Death Star, and then back into the Death Star for the Emperor to say the same thing to Luke, and for Luke to be like, "No, I'm not gonna go to the dark side." It's like, didn't we just have this part? What the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
It's like, and like it's like trying to be fucking First Blood on the moon of Endor with teddy bears instead of fucking Rambo, and I wasn't into it.
yeah, and then you also like they ruin the surprise for you as the audience because you find out it's a trap, like way before any of the characters find out it's a trap,
Yeah,
or
Like-
at least way before the fleet, the
trying
rebel
to
fleet
create
finds out.
tension backwards.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Like what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the same thing that takes me out of horror movies sometimes is when you're like, because you know the tropes, and like most of the time they follow the tropes, so you're like, oh well, you know, this chick's gonna die. She's gonna go upstairs and go in the closet, and she's gonna get knifed in the forehead or whatever,
Yeah,
and that's what happens, and it
Or
takes
it's
you out
like-
of the movie because you know what's gonna happen.
yeah. Close up on the face. Watch the face. Watch the closet. Pan out. Oh my god, he's behind her.
Yeah, whatever. And then, you know, the same thing happens, only they told you what was happening as opposed to, you know, them showing up and like some ships crashing into the shield and then like the fucking Death Star just shooting, and then the Emperor being like, "This space station is fully operational." Now like 10,000 rebels just died on that ship I blew up.
And at no point in time do I feel like any of the main characters are actually in trouble.
No.
Like Luke kind of when he's being electrocuted. But also like wait, what the fuck? Because Vader's turn like I just what?
Yeah.
Like he's this maliciously evil dude for so long, and then he's just like, my son I've never interacted with before is in peril, and I'm a good guy now.
Uh-huh.
I thought there was more. I remember there being more to that,
Yeah.
other than just like, you will join me. No, there's good in you. No, you will join me. There's good in you. I
I
remember,
guess you're right.
Yeah. Like, I remember there being more to that, and I guess there's not.
Are we actually Star Wars fans?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, I really, really like Empire, but I mean, I like A New Hope too. And I thought I liked Return, but I guess
Yeah,
not.
I don't. What? What the fuck?
No, I'm out of it.
You're out of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this rewatch has not been beneficial for me.
As far as your liking of any of these movies.
Yeah. I think I just like 3.
Just 3? Man,
Yeah.
it's a good thing we're going back through these so we can shit on all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, everyone. Empire's really good. Go watch that one. Forget about the rest of them. Maybe watch 4 and Empire, and then be like, "Oh man, I hope they win," and then forget about it.
I mean, I do think some of my disdain for it is like how kiddish it is and trying to watch as an adult. Because like
Yeah.
Empire is pretty dark and like it ends in a really bad spot. And I don't necessarily feel like it's a kid's movie. But this and A New Hope and episode 1 and episode 2, episode 3 is pretty dark. But like I don't like kid stuff. And like most of the time. It has
Yeah.
to be like really fucking good.
Yeah.
And like the only reason I watched some of the programs on Disney Plus at this point is because like for nostalgia. Because I'm like, oh yeah, this was awesome.
Spider-Man's actually good. Watching through it again is actually good, dude.
Yeah. Well, also like Spider-Man and X-Men are both like kind of fucking dark and handle adult themes like
Yeah.
racism or like balancing your romance life with your superhero life. Like
Mhm.
those are very like thematic and I don't know, like Star Wars is at its very base, it is the thing that I dislike because there is no medium. There is no consequence for all. It's just good versus bad.
Yeah.
And like the world doesn't work like that.
Mhm.
Like, and so it drives me nuts to see unflawed superheroes or just like unflawed characters who are good and then like bad guys that are just clearly bad.
Yeah.
Like at no point in time can the Emperor think what he's doing is for like good.
No.
Like at no point in time can he be the villain that believes he's right. Like he's just doing it because he's a malicious douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
And bad guys don't work that way in real life. And it's such a fucking kid's fantasy.
Yeah.
God dang it.
I mean, that's why I think so many people like Han. Because he's like the closest thing there is to that.
Right.
Because most of the first 2 movies, at least, he's in it for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, he doesn't have much of a personality in this one, other than loving Leia.
Yeah, no, that's weird too. But I also feel like that doesn't come from his character as much as it comes from Leia being like, "Oh, you scoundrel." Like he's not really doing like he like talks about leaving a couple times, but he never betrays them.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's because they never show any of the stuff that he normally does. Because the whole time he's acting out of character. And like they actually like say it until this one.
yeah.
Because this one, he never says that he wants to leave. He never like wants to skip out on it.
Right.
And nobody ever calls him a bounty or other than fucking Jabba. Nobody calls him a smuggler. Nobody calls him a pirate. Well, okay, Lando calls him a pirate, but in like a buddy way. You
Yeah.
know? Nobody's like, "You're scum. Why would we let you help us?" Like maybe that should have been a thing where they were like, instead of just being like, General Solo.
Yeah.
Like, well, why should we let you man this mission? You wanted to leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but you know, I know how to do like stealthy shit or something.
So some sort of distrust amongst the rebellion would have been cool somewhere, anywhere. Like no matter what it was. Like they even let like Lando fucking betrayed them in 5, and then now
and then
he's
a general.
a general in the
Mhm.
fucking rebel army in 6. Like how do you know he's not just doing it to get back on the good side of the dark side? Like
Yeah.
Lack of options is what I'm going to chalk that up with.
Yeah, only like there were more people in the working with the rebels than there have been in any of the other movies in this one. Like they had so many extras that were rebels in this versus like some of the other ones.
yeah.
Like it was, I don't know. It seemed like some of the characters weren't being played as themselves.
Who's playing them?
Especially, God damn it, Nathan. Especially Solo. Like, especially Han, like he just wasn't written like he was in the other movies.
Yeah. And Luke isn't either, but like it's supposed to be that way for him.
Right.
Like he's supposed to have grown into
A Jedi.
Knight.
Yeah.
So, which, coincidentally enough, Luke being the thing I dislike the most about 4 and 5,
He's the thing
Luke
you
is
like
the
the
thing I
most.
like the most about 6.
Which kind of says something about this movie, other than they made the character better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I thought I liked it more than I do.
Yeah. Dude, me too. I thought this was my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think that, but I thought it was over A New Hope, but it definitely is not. It's better than the prequels to me, but
It's better than 2 of the prequels to me.
yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know.
I think I'm
'cause-
gonna like the newer ones better.
Uh-oh. God, I hope I don't feel that way. I'm going to be the biggest hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean, I've only watched 8 once, but I think that was enough. But we'll
So-
get back to that.
That's we can talk about it again later, but I want to bring it up. So the Emperor has Luke's lightsaber, and he's sitting in his throne, and the lightsaber is sitting there with him, and he's telling Luke, he's like, submit to your anger and, strike me down. And it's the exact scene from 8 where Snoke has Kylo's lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're the same movies.
Well, I just thought that was really cool.
Oh.
Like, some of the circle plotting I like. Some of it is overdone and garbage.
Yeah.
Because, like, 7 is just like J.J. Abrams being like, hey, my dick's bigger than George Lucas's.
Right. You can circle plot and still, like, make your own
it might
thing.
Be.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
Just saying. We don't know.
I mean, if you have the balls to make 7 the way he did, I guess. Like,
But like, circle plotting can be a good thing, as bringing, being self-referential in,
Yeah.
like, a good way. But, like, just making the same movie over is kind of fucking a cop-out.
yeah. Well, when we get to 8, I'll talk about the Red Room scene being one of my favorite scenes throughout Star Wars.
Yeah, except for somebody not getting cut in half when they should have.
Yeah.
Fucking choreographer dropped the ball so hard.
So then there's also at the beginning of 3 where Palpatine is sitting in his chair and they've captured what's his fucking name?
I don't know who you're
Christopher
talking about.
Lee.
Oh, Dooku.
Dooku, yeah, they've captured Dooku. And Palpatine says he's like, cut him down. And
Mhm.
like, it's a very similar scene, except for he's
Yeah.
not talking about himself. And then he like cuts fucking Dooku's hands off. But yeah, so those 3 scenes across the movies, I thought were very similar.
Mhm.
And so I watching it this time, I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. That's where that scene came from.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Emperor, like, not is like I like his motivations or anything, but I like the characterization and stuff in this movie. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
The acting for him was pretty good. But like, I don't know. It's just there's so much fucked in this movie.
In Empire, I definitely felt like Palpatine was more like the waiting villain, and even in 1, 2, and 3, like before 6,
Yeah.
all of Palpatine is like, he's not like necessarily your stereotypical arrogant villain.
Yeah.
He's like, he's the waiting villain that wins.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 6, he's like, this is my master plan. Mwahaha. And then he dies. And so, like, it's a little bit different, but they also, like, I guess kind of had to do that because they were going to kill him, quote unquote. But
We'll get to that eventually.
So, but it's weird because like he just like I don't know, he has Luke in front of him now, so he wants to boast, he wants to brag, I guess. Like, whereas he didn't have the good guy in front of him before to like brag and boast that he was gonna win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the prequels, he didn't have one in front of him that knew what was happening. I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because he was still like under guys. you
Yeah.
know? So, I mean, that was a little different.
I thought it felt like a little out of character for him to give the big reveal, I'm gonna win speech,
Yeah.
and this is how I do it. But Ugh, I don't know. This movie's fucking weird.
Oh man. So let's talk a little bit about the CG. I already bitched about the one scene that they added. There was a bunch of like random buildings that they added for some reason. Like they added some buildings for Jabba's palace. Apparently they can only make like towers with round like chapel like roofs for some reason.
It's the architecture style in Tatooine.
Yeah, but the Cloud City was also the same.
It's the
It's the same
architecture
architects.
style.
Yeah, same
There too.
guys. Same guys made it. Well, the same guys did make it. They all animated the same fucking thing and just like copy pasted it everywhere.
Well, the same guys made the Death Star. They have circles. You know,
yeah, yeah.
fucking future.
Circles are everything.
Trump Tower will be a bunch of circles here soon. Watch.
That's the circle of life.
Okay.
Trump Tower?
Nope. I just meant Star Wars.
There went every liberal listen we ever had.
The circle of Trump.
Ugh. Talking about his beehole?
No.
Why?
Jesus.
Think it wears a toupee?
It's a merkin, okay. The butt merkin.
And we got those listens back.
Dude, I bet he bleaches his asshole. He just
come
seems
on.
like the type.
Dude, my dog just farted. I think he bleached his asshole.
Oh,
He spray tans his asshole.
God.
Well, someone
yeah.
else spray tans it for
Oh,
him.
it's so bad.
yeah. Ivanka.
Probably not.
She definitely bleaches her beehole. Am I
Wait,
allowed to
that's
say
his
that?
daughter, right? I don't. Did I get
I
that right?
thought it was
I don't
his
know who's who.
girlfriend or his wife.
I have no idea who
I was
is who.
I was trying to imply that his daughter bleaches his asshole.
No,
Yeah.
I just wanted to put
no.
that out there because we have to get incest in here somewhere.
Well, it's getting edited out this time.
God dang it. That's good shit. What's not good shit is that smell. What is happening?
Diesel bleached his asshole.
Butthole and bleach.
Bleached my nose.
Diesel heard you say butthole and he's like, it's okay here, I guess.
All right, so the CG.
Yeah, so the CG is fucking awful. There's the buildings. I mentioned the buildings. There's like some weird, like, yaks that they added to Tatooine.
Yeah, what? I can forgive
What?
most of the CG. The two CG things I hated the most were when it pans across Jabba's palace. When it pans across his palace and they CG'd like some creature like spitting its tongue into the air or something
Oh,
just
yeah.
for like comedic effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like I fucking hate there's also like a lot of scenes in this, especially with the Ewoks, where they're like there's some actual tension kind of, and then they're like, oh, this Ewok fell down.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Get the shit out of here. But and then the other thing I hate the most that they CG'd is the fucking pit.
Oh god, the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, the Sarlacc pit. The fucking they
They gave it a
CG'd
beak.
monster face beak.
They gave it a beak, and it's not even there all the time. Like
No.
they didn't even commit to it.
Yeah.
Because like somebody was like, let's put a beak on it, and then they forgot that like sometimes there's guys that are like trying to crawl out of it where the beak is, so they got to get rid of it. It's a retractable beak. It doesn't even make sense.
We want to know who the beak guy is.
We want his hands cut off with a lightsaber.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We want him to not work in CG work anymore.
What the fuck?
We're going to find out he got really good and he did most of the CG on Avengers.
You know what? If he got good, that's fine. But it probably wasn't that guy's idea. It was probably some fucking dork's idea named George Lucas.
Hey, you should put a beak on it.
A retractical one.
I really like that
Fucking-
Sarlacc pit. Put a beak on it.
Ugh. That was so dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the whole end. Like, after the good guys win, there was the obnoxious Ewok party in the original version.
Right.
Okay, you know, you paid to make these suits, get the most out of them you can, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, but there's this big party. They fucking burn Vader. They see the ghosts of Yoda, Ben, and Anakin. In this version, and it was the leader of the Hellfire Club that played Anakin. In this version, you see Naboo celebrating. You see Coruscant celebrating. And, like, knocking over a fucking statue of the Emperor. Like, what? And then they took Sebastian Shaw out, which I hope he, like, you know, absorbed some kinetic energy and blew these motherfuckers apart for doing it. But they took Sebastian Shaw out and they put in fucking Hayden Christensen as Anakin. And, like, Luke just looks at him and is like, oh, hey, Dad. Like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
He didn't see him like that.
And
he would have no fucking idea. And Ben is still old man Ben. Yoda is still old Yoda, whatever race he is. I don't know what he is. Little floppy-eared Henson puppet.
Lucas has never... I just looked at this morning. Lucas has never
given a name
for Yoda's race. He's always wanted it to be mysterious. So he's just Yoda.
Whatever. Anyway...
From Jotunheim.
He's a frost giant. He's the littlest frost giant.
No, that's how big everyone is in the Star Wars universe. Like, they're all proportionally larger than when we're smaller than Yoda.
Okay, so then the Ewoks are like our grizzly bears?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But they're friendly because the Force.
It doesn't fucking make sense. What the fuck?
Dude, I'm George Lucas. I have absorbed his soul through these movies and ruined any aspect of myself.
Oh my god.
So
anyway.
Can you imagine the size of the seagulls?
Stop it now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go watch the bad lip reading videos. They're better than everything after 5.
I mean...
Just watch those.
If you were like, hey, do you want to watch 5 again? I would probably be like, you want to just watch seagulls for 6 hours?
I don't know about 6 hours. I feel like we could get a lot of other Disney Plus in 6 hours.
Oh, yeah. We should do that.
Yeah. After this, you want to watch some Spider-Man? Jesus Christ.
I kind of want you to watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm kind of Star Wars'd out now. But I'm like... It all sucks. I realize that I don't actually like Star Wars. I'm a fucking asshole.
Do you want to reference the meme you seen the other day?
Oh, which one was that?
The Star Trek versus Star Wars meme.
Oh, yeah. Well, Doug told me it was wrong because apparently they only like 4 out of the 11 movies that have been out for Star Trek. But it was like something like are Star Wars fans even Star Wars fans? And Star Trek is obviously better because they don't dislike 7 out of their 9 movies or whatever.
Yeah.
11. There's 11 of both. And I like 3 of one, and I don't know which ones I like of the other ones.
If it has Patrick Stewart in it, I like it.
I don't know because I haven't watched any of them in forever. The last one I watched was the first new one. And
like with Chris Pine and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
those are okay.
And I haven't watched any of the Next Generation ones in forever.
I like First Contact.
You know, I already said
that.
Unless you cut the part where I said I was coming out today, then I already said I was coming out today. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and do it on this episode since we're talking about it.
Okay.
I'm not actually a Star Wars fan.
Oh, yeah. No, we talked about this way back in the MCU.
Yeah. So today I announced that I'm a Trekkie.
Because you just realized that you don't like more Star Wars movies than you do Trek movies.
Yeah, I like way more. Even if you take into account the Star Wars like shows, like I don't like Clone Wars. Like I fucking hate that cartoon. I like the original short that came out that was like an hour and 30 minutes that was released in 6-minute intervals.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual series I don't like. Rebels, is, from what I've seen, is okay. But anything with Patrick Stewart in it in Star Trek, I absolutely love. So like I loved Next Generation, and like a lot of those movies I remember
I
loving
remember
too.
being really wishy-washy on that, but I'm willing to go back through and watch it to find out. Do you know if it's on anything?
I don't think so. It'll probably be on like the CBS. It'll probably be on CBS Access.
Oh yeah. CBS Access has the new Patrick Stewart show, doesn't it?
Yeah, which I'm super comes out in 2020. I'm really excited for that. I'm happy that Patrick Stewart decided to come back to reprise his role as Captain Picard.
I feel like somebody's gonna stab us with a fucking lightsaber because we're fucking around talking about Star Trek on a Star Wars episode.
I don't know that we have enough fans to disgruntle one of them yet.
That's also true. The 3 people that that listen to this, we don't care about your opinions apparently because there's not enough of you to be a threat to us.
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys something.
Go for it, buddy.
I enjoyed the Star Wars movies the first time I watched them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't enjoy them that much. Like rewatching them, like I don't know. I get the story. I like the story. I like the
Yeah.
characters. But for me, they were one watches.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that about 7 and 8. Like I like those.
Okay.
I could rewatch them. But I think maybe it's because they're not super played out to me.
Right. I mean, these are old movies, so
Like Rogue One, and Solo. I enjoyed those the first time I watched them.
yeah.
But I don't have high expectations.
Yeah, I don't know where our high expectations came from. Apparently,
Blade Runner.
I meant for Star Wars, but yeah.
Wait, yeah, Blade Runner.
I don't know how you can have high expectations after watching that movie.
Oh my God.
We already did that podcast.
I know.
He's gonna bring it up every time.
Fucking haunts me every day.
Like, you can't believe I wasted 3 hours on that. And then every consecutive week after that, another at least 5 minutes of my life bitching about the movie.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I don't think there is a lot of rewatchability to these. I mean, I know they've been on a shit ton and people like rewatch the shit out of these, but like I don't get it. Like I respect Star Wars for what it did in the time in which it came out because it was a huge deal for sci-fi.
Yes.
And it was a giant step for mankind that we
was not landing on the moon, but okay, go ahead.
that we needed in cinema. And it is like I would I would show my kids. I would be like, "Hey kids, watch this." Like, and they're gonna be like, "What are these stupid fucking Muppets? Why did they do that shit?" And I'm gonna be like, "I'm gonna fucking slap the shit out of you." But
why, you agree?
What? No, I don't. I like the practical effects over the CGI. Oh, you meant like the Ewoks?
Yeah.
Yeah, there just needs to be less of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I like all the Muppet stuff in the background.
Yeah.
That's where it needs to be. Like you're not going to
all the aliens in the bars.
Yeah.
And,
like
in
that shit
Jabba's
looks
palace and
that
stuff.
shit looks great. And even the Ewoks, they look good. I don't like hate looking at them. They're just like
Nathan
weird
does.
that they can do as much as they can do. But yeah, I just don't think there's a lot of rewatchability here. Partially because it's probably played out and like everything in the world has made fun of it. But I mean, it did something at the time that we needed it to do.
No, I think there's a lot more options right now for like nerds.
That's true
and
too.
People that like enjoy just like the stuff that we like. And back then, they just had Star Wars. So I mean, they had like they all could unify with one thing.
Yeah.
But now there are so many different things to enjoy. You don't just have to like back something. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just that's my feelings on it. I feel like people that were like alive in the 70s and the 80s that watched these movies when they came out were like, this is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's all they fucking had.
Right.
Now, like, you get on Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu, like, there's something for everybody, no matter where you go.
Right.
So I just think we have more options now.
You do. You really do.
It's like the people that invented Good and Plenty's. Okay? That black licorice candy.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes like ass, but it was
Okay.
candy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
all they fucking had, so they had to enjoy it. You know? Then other candy came out, and they're like, you don't have to eat this garbage no more? Like, candy can taste good?
Yeah.
So I just totally shit all over Star Wars right there.
Star Wars is good and plenty.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Not plenty good, but good and plenty.
All right, let's go ahead and rate this, I guess, since we're done savaging it. I'm going to go first.
Do
I
it.
am going to give Return of the Jedi, this version, a 6. Because fuck everything they added to it and everything they changed about it in this newer version. I'm going to give the original version a 7.5, and probably half that score is nostalgia. Russell?
I'm just gonna give it a 7, just all the way around. I don't like. I hate 90% of the shit that they added. No, I think I hate all the shit they added.
Literally everything they added.
Yeah, I don't think
And
there's
everything they
anything I was
changed.
like, yeah, they needed to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that all. So the part where Han gets unfrozen,
Uh-huh.
that those effects are from the original, and Han getting unfrozen looks better than any of the CGI they added later.
Do you remember when fucking they're doing the like projection of the Death Star
Yeah,
and Endor Moon, and
Yeah.
like Nathan made a joke. He's like, "Hey, that looks good," and it was like, "Yeah, because that's from the original fucking movie. How'd they do that and make it look good? And all this fucking CG looks like ass and doesn't match anything at all. What the fuck were they thinking?
yeah.
Did they screen test this shit?" And everybody's like, "What is that? What is that?"
We should have just watched it on the DVD so they didn't get a stream out of us. Fuck.
No, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a 7 all the way around. It is a cohesive movie. The pacing, it drives me nuts because I get bored.
Yeah.
About halfway through, I like have no more interest in finishing this movie, and
Mhm.
like I was like, "What is happening to me?" I thought it was because I was tired, and then I was like, "No, this is just bad."
I think it's also like it has like 3 actual stories in the movie.
Yeah,
So like the first one resolves and you're like ready to be done with it 45 minutes in.
yeah, and it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
And then like everything that happens afterwards,
You're like, why?
yeah, what's going on? They got Han back. Just like,
Pushing
leave.
your fucking noodle in after you already nutted in the first 5 minutes. And you're like, why am I doing this? I'm not even having fun anymore.
pushing rope.
That's what the last hour and a half of this movie is pushing rope.
Yep. That's yep, that's good. That's I agree. So hard 7,
Hard
not anywhere near a 7.1, but not a 6.9. Hard 7.
Nathan?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this movie.
Yeah.
But, 10 out of 10.
Son of a bitch.
Thought you were gonna rate it something like Luke's broken lightsaber or
It's the Wimpy Schwartz.
all right.
Okay. Well,
We got a announcement for you guys.
oh, God damn it. Fuck you, Russell. I'm going to go through
What?
the plugs.
I wanted you to do it first.
No, it's going to be part of the plugs.
Fine, do it however
What
you
the
want.
fuck?
Are we going to do plugs?
Yeah, we're going to do plugs.
All right.
Do you want to do it?
No. It's
Okay.
not my podcast.
Well, okay.
My
All right.
Sidekick.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at DraftyQ. Find us on YouTube at Drafty Quarters Podcast Network, Facebook, Drafty Quarters Productions, and you can become a patron on Patreon if you search Drafty Quarters Productions. One of the first things we're going to be having up after the stuff that we already currently have up is something called the Gospel of Winchester. It will be a Tier 3 weekly content where Brother Russell and Nathan and I discuss all 167 episodes of Supernatural. If that's the number, I don't know. That's what Russell told me, but he's a terrible producer.
We're doing 2 episodes an episode.
2 episodes per episode. If
Yep.
that's confusing enough for you, there's 167 episodes, of which we are going to do 2 episodes per episode of the Gospel of Winchester.
One of them is going to be 3 episodes.
Or 1 episode, depending on how it comes out.
I'm so looking forward to this.
You should see the look on his face if it didn't come through in his voice.
And if you are a super big fan of Supernatural, you should listen to this podcast.
Oh, man. Okay. Our email is draftyq@gmail.com. Send us your questions, comments, complaints, adulations. No nudes. The other podcasts have Twitter handles as well, @Crimson Ring Pod, @DraftyDames. Nathan is @BigSmooth with the ED.
On the end.
Yeah, on the end. And Doug is @Woodscale1, the number 1, not spelled out.
And it's on the end, too.
I mean, that makes sense. I said Woodscale 1.
It's a standard of where a scale sets.
Yeah. What?
Welp, that got weird.
Oh, man. Well,
He always makes fun of mine.
this has been DQP Does. Please, God, strike me down. I'm too tired to be poetic. Fuck you. You've got a sister, by the way.
This has been a production of the Drafty Quarters Podcast Network.